all right. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Come on in. Come on in. Doc Remy and I are ready to kick this thing off and get it going. How you doing, Doc Remy?
I'm doing good. I went and got me a chair. Okay, so look.
Doc said she had to go get her a chair, man.
Yeah, man. You look
And
good.
you got you a microphone, man. You got your headset cocked to the side. Hey, look, I'm ready for you to go store going chicka, 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 chicka.
Yeah. Look. I got a little soundboard and everything, right?
Hey,
Like,
man, listen, man. We gearing her up, man. We gearing her up. We getting ready to kick it off, Doc. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, man. A little tired. I've been traveling, driving a little bit, 3 hours, 4 hours today, but I'm in the building as usual.
All right. And we are ready to kick this thing off, man. Hey, listen. Shout out to everybody that's been tuning into the podcast, man. I can't thank everybody enough. There's been a surge of subscribers lately, and I just want to thank everybody. I don't know what's kicked the algorithm up that maybe just kind of like push us up into maybe the stratosphere of viewing, or the word is getting out that we're running a podcast now, man. But it's been positive feedback. I just want to thank everybody again for coming on and joining and subscribing to the podcast, the Riding with K Solo, the podcast show with no other than Doc Remy in the building.
Right. We up in here.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Hey, what's going on? Russell Brown, aka Like That, man. It's good to see everybody coming on in. Come on in, folks. You know what time it is. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5 p.m. on that West Coast. We got Joe Fanners down there in Florida. What's going on, Joe? We got BLS Brothers, man. That's what's up. Come on in, folks. Come on in. My guy Bolo. If you can hear us and see us on Facebook, give us a thumbs up. If you can see us on YouTube, give us some stars and some likes, man. We greatly appreciate it. But listen, Doc, we're gonna go ahead and get this thing rolling tonight, working some of our audio kinks out. Hey, listen, we have he's a legend in his own right, man. He really is. COEB is an IBA rider. He's an Iron Butt Rally rider. He's a Hoka Hey rider. He's an ultimate long distance rider. He's the creator and founder of the RTE Cross USA. And man, his riding resume is a mile long. And he was also a board member of the prestigious Hoka Hey Motorcycle Challenge. So listen, man, we're going to dig into him. We're going to find out who COEB is. We're going to find out about his journeys, his adventures, where he's been, his inspiration, his motivation. Make sure y'all tune in, folks. And if you like, and if you got comments, make sure you hit that like, comment, and subscribe button and drop those comments in there. We're going to try to get all the answers tonight. So you ready to bring our host, our special guest in tonight, Doc?
Hey, I'm always ready. You always putting me on the spot. Let's go.
So listen, folks, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and bring our special guest in tonight. Oh, no other than COEB, a.k.a. Eric Maskel. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Doing awesome. Let me raise it a little bit. There you go.
Man. There you go, man. Well, listen, before
thank y'all for having me, man.
Welcome.
We're going to give you one of those big old round of applause. Indeed, man. Indeed. Welcome to the show. You was down at the RTE and you said, "Hey, Solo, get me on the show." I said, "Eric, you want to be on the show? You on the show, man. You know it.
That's man. My third. We're RT brothers, man. We like to ride to eat, do long distance motorcycle riding.
That's right, man. We love to ride and we love to eat. And I can't thank you enough for putting on the RTE Cross the USA, man. It is a great and it's a self-paced challenge. It's a self-paced event where you can ride your ride and do it. But I'm not gonna just put it all out there. I'm gonna let you put it all out there. So if you, yes, indeed, you see, I got my shirt on, man.
I see a little backdrop back there too, ready for me. The new stickers are in for the podcast. Yeah,
that's it, baby. That's it.
Got some live. That AI is paying off, man. Got some realism.
Yes, indeed, man. Yes, indeed. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Folks, knife and fork, man. Live to ride, ride to eat. That's what I'm talking about. So listen, E, if you would, sir, go ahead and please introduce yourself to the audience tonight.
Well, I was inspired. I'm a COEB, crazy one-eye biker, also known as Eric Busquel. And, I founded the RT back in 19. I was inspired by one of my friends, Brian, for real, Farrell, to, create a map and do my own thing. And so I was like, man, all I need is a little encouragement sometimes. So we'll find out through some of the stories, and I'll go do some crazy stuff.
Right, right.
And so I'm giving back to the community a little bit since 19. This will be the 8th year coming up. 26, I guess, makes it 8.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
And as I don't know if all the viewers know, but you were the inaugural winner.
I know, man. I know.
Yeah, that's how we know each other. We started out in 19. I was like, "Who's this guy, man, on the scene?" Nobody had heard of you.
I was the new guy, man, the new booty on the long distance riding scene. Me and Sharif came on, man, and for the RTE, it was right down my line, man. I was like, this is heaven sent for me because I love to ride and I love to eat, and it took me all across the country, man.
Wow.
And y'all started y'all's event a couple years ahead of me, maybe 3 years ahead, right?
Yeah, we did, man. But it just fit right in. And then also, I wanted to thank you because you made our event one of the points event that if you attended RT, you could receive points towards your overall score, which was pretty awesome.
Right? Yeah, Don's out there in Hammond. Don's Seafood out in Hammond. I showed up that year participate in y'all's event. That was my first one, the 19.
Yeah.
I'm out of Panama City Beach, so I wasn't too far to drive.
Yeah. I want to show this picture right here, man. This was 2019 when you first started, and I won it, man. I went to over 400 different locations, including Alaska, Hawaii, and all of the lower 48 states, man. I mean, I was
How about that cool trophy?
And then the cool trophy. Y'all see that trophy, man? Let me put that trophy up. Oh, look at that trophy. It's back there somewhere, man. As a matter of fact, I got 2 of those trophies.
Well, we'll get to that in a second. Then in 2020, I was able to host the Hoka Hey Motorcycle Challenge in my hometown, and you were participating in that, and you rolled in there hard and came in 3rd spot. Hoka Hey 2020.
Yep. And did. But we would also see each other at the IBA Jacks party.
Oh, yeah. We always make the Jacks party. So I got my first pictures with you there as we already became friends, participating in the RT event together and, breaking in your event together as well.
Right.
You were living in Raleigh. My mom lives up there. So I gave some of your gift cards out in person up there at some Aviator bar or something.
Yeah. We met at Aviator bar in Fuquay Arena. And
then right downtown's where I think I gave you the trophy. I even showed up with that. Oh, well, that's a whole different story there. That's where I was. I was still leading after my wreck. Me and Mom. Yeah.
Yep. Indeed.
Hold on, I got the crash helmet still. I got.
Hey, listen,
got that
folks,
look still. That's my look.
That's his look right there. That's his signature look right there, man.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I brought it. I was ready.
Oh man. I don't even know where to start off, folks. His resume is so deep, his adventures. But Doc, I'm gonna let you, because I know Eric, and I want you to hit him from a different perspective tonight. Hit him up with your first question.
Well, again, welcome to the show, Eric.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So when we were in Arkansas, were you sitting at the bar? Did you not go into the Bright's Barbecue? There was a couple of us that was sitting at the bar eating some breakfast and just talking instead of going inside the barbecue place. and I thought I heard you telling the guy that was sitting next to you who you were. Was that you or not you? That's
Yeah, I'm sure it was. We sat outside forever. Did you go to the bar next door also?
Yeah, so I went next door to the bar and I was sitting there. I actually put my sticker, Gorilla Blue was in there. He stood up and put $1 up on the ceiling and I put my sticker up there.
Yeah, it was a cool little place right there out in the parking lot. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, okay.
Because the line was forever and I was ready. I was like, man, I'm ready to have a drink and get something.
I know, right?
I mean, what a great crowd and turnout that was.
It really was. And I should have got up and came around the bar and really introduced myself to you. But here we are now.
Right. We were all talking, having a good time.
So my first question to you is, how do you go to all these different restaurants and drop the coins off so everybody else can come along and collect the coins?
We're not doing coins. We got stickers, and I definitely don't make it across the country every year like that. You know, I try to get it participate as well. Some of the places I've been to, some of them I watch some of the people that give me recommendations, or I'll be spying on them. You know, Dana Darcy style. You know, creeping on their page and seeing that they're at a restaurant, and I'll add it. You know, and keep a note and add it the next year. And a lot of times I'm driving down the road and trying to do screenshots and stuff to remember these things. And, you know, it all comes together at the end. Some places stay on there every year, and I try to keep it fresh every year. It's going on its 8th year. So sometimes I don't know. Some places feel familiar, and some places I'm like, man, did I put this on here before? You know, you try to keep it fresh. But it's the United States of America, so there's going to be some duplication. And some of them are just so cool. If I'm trying to get them on there a second time, they must have been cool the first time.
Gotcha.
Indeed, man. Indeed. Like I say, I don't know what formula y'all guys use or how do you go about finding these locations, but some of them are on the back roads. Some of them have been around for years, since the 40s, the 30s, mom and pop diners. Some of the best food that you can eat as well, man. And if I tell anybody, if you start on day one riding and you ride to the end of the year, you without a doubt will visit every state, every back road there is across the country. You will.
And I've added more than ever this year, so we can hit a bunch more spots, get more points. And you know, if you're only a regional person, you're going to get more action this year. And I spend a lot of time on Google Maps, and I feel like I've done the whole country with my little yellow man, dropping it on the road and looking at the places and doing the reviews for every place. And you know, I've been doing it for 8 years, and yeah, it's so fun. And when I get there, a lot of these places, I feel like I already been there before. You know, it feels familiar. I guess because my little man on the road.
Good deal.
It's a lot of Google Maps.
How would I sign up? How do people sign up for the RTE across America?
Right. So a lot of people, they just join the Facebook group, and I try to screen them as best I can, you know, and invite everybody. So there's thousands of people on there at this point. And, you know, a handful of us actually participate. I think everybody's like on there and viewing and doing the stuff, but everybody's not the big ham and big long distance rider. You know, it's a small community of guys that really get off the couch and pound the road and put these miles in to get all these points and stuff. And they're the ones that are pretty much showboating. You know, a lot of us just participate to be there. And, you know, a lot, you know, there's prizes. You get $300 for first place every quarter, you know, for the most you post. You get $200 for second. It's all gas cards, $100 for third. So it's trying to it keeps it exciting, and, you know, and you get to earn some of the gas points, you know, gas miles along the way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So I'll mix it up, and I just try to throw some of those RTs in along the way when I'm doing other rides. I'm like, man, there's RT. I'm heading that way, and it gets you off the main road. You know, a lot of times we'll get stuck on the interstates, and if you just ride, you know, with the Google Maps, they're going to send you on the fastest way there every time. You're not going to get the backcountry roads and all this other stuff that you get whenever you ride the RT, and you're saying, I'm going from this RT to the next RT. Send you in a whole different direction. You get to see the backcountry, you know, the forgotten towns of America. You know, if you hadn't got out there and ride a lot, man, there's a lot to see, and And, along the way, I'll put on some points of interest in that town nowadays. Inaugural one didn't have it, but later on, I started adding in some points of interest, kind of making some locations worth a little bit more. Basically, every place is worth 1 or 2 points. If it's open, you can get 2. You can get 1 if it's not open. And then, you get a few points of interest that are worth 1 or 2 points too. If it's like hard to get to and you haven't, you got to go way out of the way, and I put a restaurant by it or something, then I'll be like, I'll make that one worth 2. Maybe somebody will actually go get it.
Right. Nurse Tiffany just dropped a question in. What's your favorite restaurant?
Oh, wow. You got to go with Small Mountain Street Tacos.
Hey, man,
they've been so good. They've been so good to us. I mean, you can't. And they treat us like family every time we're there, man. So you can't beat that one.
I know, man. Small Mountain Taco out in Oklahoma, Medicine Park. Make sure you're out there, man, for the annual taco run. Look it up. There's a Facebook page. If you want to look in to meet some Hoka Hey riders, you want to meet some ultimate long distance riders, long distance riding community. You want to change your long distance riding community up. Make sure you're at the Small Mountain Annual Taco Run.
So that started in 19 also, because Moonshine Burger ran forever. That was my first Iron Butt ride, was a Kurt Grand Memorial ride to Moonshine Burger. They did a big thing. Everybody showed up all the time. And, when we first got there, they were Hoka Hey would have 10 people there, and then it grew to, like 20, and then it was like 30 by then. And it was something that we did annually, and then all of a sudden they dropped it, and today we're not doing it no more. The family, somebody died in the family. And I mean, it gets too big sometimes, but it was great. It was up there in around Casey, Illinois area. It's called there's a population of 2, it's kind of crazy how big that thing got, and almost like some of the, the taco run got big, man. When we first started showing up solo, me and you, I mean, there was some bad weather, man. We'd be like, 20 Hoka Hey warriors coming out and then participate in it. Now it's, it's not just Hoka Hey riders, but it's all the riders came out to support it, because it left a void, the taco, when the hamburger ran, Moonshine Burger Run quit. So John picked it up, ran with it. I was doing my RT and all my rides. I was like, man, you're good to go on that, not me. So he ran with it, and it was cool. He's my best friend from last 40 years, John Levins. So he's joining us all in this ride to eat pursuit, along with long distance riding and 2 wheels, and uniting the community of friends and riders together and giving them something to do, giving them purpose to get out there and ride. Yeah, it's my boy.
Yeah, man. You guys have been 40 plus years best friends, man, down there in Panama City. You have endeavors together, you've written together, you endured together, you saved each other's asses together. That's true brotherhood, man. That's strong indeed. I love that. I love that about you two guys, man. And you guys always take care of me, you know what I'm saying?
We got that in common with you and Sharif. And Reef.
Yep. Indeed, man. Indeed.
We got some crazy guy that'll go out and ride stupid rides with you every now and then. Watch you. He don't do a lot of the points of interest rides and stuff. So he's just like, all right, I'll come this way and watch you get a picture.
Yeah. Listen, man, I was on, I think it was the 10. We were headed, I don't know if we was headed to the RTE, but I seen this gold wing coming up behind me. And I seen this white helmet, and I seen a guy with shorts on and a beard just flying in the wind. And Big John just passed me like I was standing still. He was jamming to his music, riding, man, just in the zone, baby. He was in the zone.
Yeah, he got one of them elite belt riders belt buckles back in 2020.
Hey, man, speaking of that, I don't know if y'all can see this right here.
I got mine on.
That's right. That's right, man.
So yeah, I'm the man in the myth behind the that belt buckle as well. So back in 18, we got together. I got together with I do t-shirts for a living, and we do some ASI product. And I was like, man, we'll do a belt buckle. Top 20 guys will get a damn belt buckle. And so in 18, we launched that and continued it in 2020 when I hosted it. And I guess they didn't want to continue to do it. People were riding too hard for a belt buckle, man. I mean, it was a cool item, Everybody can't get first place like you, but some of us can come in solid and show our elite status and get a belt buckle.
Right.
It was a good thing. It's a lot of popularity I got for that.
Yeah, you did. A lot of people enjoy it.
I'm glad I was able to do that for the community. I think it was solid and strong, man. I mean, it's something I cherish, and I'm sure you do too. I've got two, one in 18 and one in 22.
So when did you ride your first Hoka Hey, and what made you want to ride the Hoka Hey?
Right. So I grew up in Panama City Beach in the restaurant business, family restaurant business, and I expanded out into the t-shirt business, a little crossover there. But 20 years I'd done that restaurant business. We had opened up a brand new one, and it was motorcycle themed. That's where we hosted the Hoka Hey in 2020. I was still, good with the family. I just decided, it's better to part ways. Like I had my own business doing t-shirts. So back in 2018, they given me a motorcycle. It was a Fat Bob. So it comes back later in the story, when I got to 2021 and decided to ride one in an iron butt rally. But coming up in 2012, I was sitting at the bar. I was managing the bar at the new restaurant, and Full Throttle, or one of the magazines, had put one of these magazines out there. I'm just flipping through it, buying time. It's like 4, we're waiting on the dinner rush or something. I come across this article that Big Jim Red Cloud put out. He was doing some advertising for the 2012 Hoka Hey. And I was like, man, it had that, he had that article wrote up just good, man. It was like, man, come on, you had the calling for, I was like, man, it was calling for me. And I was like, hell yeah, I got the calling. And I'd never been a long distance rider at that time. And I wanted some legitimacy with my new restaurant I was running and stuff like that. I was like, man, I'm buying me a Road Glide. I'm going to get on this. So, my boy John, I sent it to him. He said, man, I'd love to do that. I play in a metal band, and my boy, lead guitar player, he had that's me right there at 2014 was that one. That's where John had wrecked out and 14, and I'd taken his cut after he got air flighted out. I stuck by him and air flighted out. He got air flighted back, and then he was all jerking a tear when the helicopter guys came from the U.S. to get him out of Canada, to get him back into the States. And yeah, he always I got the honor stick for hanging around for him in that year in 2012. He always says he wrecks or does something, and I get a trophy for it. So
okay,
that was pretty cool. That was a nice honor for Hoka Hey to recognize me for hanging back and giving up my ride. But I mean, what are you gonna do? It's my brother. I was gonna do that anyhow.
Man, that's selfless right there, man.
But,
you withdrew from the ride to help your brother, man.
Right. Picked up all of his stuff that he left on the road, made sure everything was situated with the cops and everything. And when he got the call to get air flighted out, he gave me the okay and nod to go ahead and go forward and take his cut on up to the finish line. So that was Key West to Homer, Alaska in 2014. That was the whole story. That was that's the one before that that's the one where the three of us. So my guitar player and my band and John Levins, if you go down the road and you tell them, hey man, you want to do this Hoka Hey thing with me? Everybody's like, no. I like the first two guys I call are like, yeah, I want to do that. Phil didn't do another one after that. Family and all that got in the way, but John keeps being he don't get enough, man. He just keeps jumping in. Okay, man. He's participated and done more. He's he'll not do it right sometimes. Bring a bike that ain't ready for it, but you got to love him, man. He kept persisting and finally got his dues in 2020 and got the elite rider belt buckle. Pretty cool.
Okay, nice, man. I love to hear that selflessness about a rider. You know what I'm saying? It says a lot about you and your character. It does.
So I'll go with 2012. I'll give you a little story in there. So we get out. It's like Vegas to New York. It's like Seneca, New York or something. And we're all out there. And I get it was a brutal ride out there. We rode out there. And it was like 113 going through, and our engines were banging in the heat of that shit. And none of us had ever done any long distance riding in 2012 on that picture there. And we finally got out to Vegas, and I'm in Vegas, baby. I'm like, man, having a good time. I'm like up there, like, you know, slinging damn roulette wheel and stuff till 4 o'clock in the morning. I wake up the next morning and we get to the start line. I say, hey, dude, I ain't got no damn, I'm out of gas, man. I got like a half tank of gas. They're like, sucks for you or something. So we start the thing and we're going. I'm like out of gas. So I pull into the gas station. Of course, they ain't waiting on my ass. So I'm like, I'm just gassing up real quick and get back on it. Next thing you know, I mean, we're just pounding out, man. There ain't no gas stations forever. I almost run out of gas even. I'm like, I don't know where they went. And like 3 days later, I'm like, hey, man, where you guys are at, man? They're like, man, we're like 300 miles behind you. We ran out of gas, man. I had to pull into a farmyard or something and get enough gas to go backwards to get gas. That'll be a familiar story back in in 2022 on the first leg right there. Hey, Solo.
Yeah. Because
It'll be a
that's what
familiar
I
story
did.
later on. We'll keep it in line, but that'll be a familiar story later.
I got my notes right here. We're gonna bring that one back up, man.
Yeah, we'll bring it back up.
Doc, you got something for COEB?
So, what made you start riding, doing the Hoka Heys? Like, you know, how long have you been riding motorcycles in general? And then what made you go from just riding motorcycles to say, I want to do the Hoka Hey every year?
Well, you know, after in 13, yeah, I parted ways from the restaurant business, and then they were supposed to end it. Like Jim Red Cloud had said, he was only going to do the 10, 11, 12, and 13. So we weren't able to do 13. So when 14 came up, they offered it for free. They were like, hey, man, we're just doing this for free in 14, you know, like keep it going. We didn't think it was going to happen again. So about 80 riders showed up to go from Key West to Homer, Alaska. So we were down there in Key West. It was called unfinished business. So we're like, hey, man, we all had unfinished business with it because I came in like, man, I work double shifts and I can do long distance motorcycle riding without a clue at the time, you know, just jumping in, you know, the deep end and seeing if I could swim, you know. And that's what happened. So after that, the bug, I'd actually finished with my boys up there at the finish line. So we were like, man, I didn't do it right, man. I didn't get to go Alaska in particular, you know. So I had to call him for it and did it again. And that's really when the bug kicked in, you know, by 15, you know, after 14, you know, John hitting the deer up there and then me hitting it and us really being part of the community. In 15, that'd be 14 when we did that one. And then 15, they didn't do a ride. That was the first year they didn't do a ride. So they went 10, 11. So they did a special checkpoint up there going in 14. And Jim Red Cloud, because he wasn't necessarily doing it himself, Beth was running at that point. There was going to be a special checkpoint where I blow by him, and I think my boy Rob Sanook, he blew by it, not realizing that it was Jim Red Cloud sitting by the road. A few of them I had to pull around even myself, you know, because we were like trying to, you know, run out and grab trophies and stuff and get, you know, recognition for being in the top or something, you know. It's all self-glory when there ain't no belt buckle behind it. There wasn't no belt buckle then. But that was a cool one. He was sitting on the side of the road. We got a picture with him. We were all running pretty good. We were all up in the low teens, I think, at that point, running up to Alaska in 14. That was a pretty cool picture to remember.
And for those that don't know, Jim Red Cloud is the founder of the Hoka Hey Motorcycle Challenge, and he passed away. And you know, when you go up to South Dakota, and he was a Navy veteran, and you know, he's buried in the cemetery there, just down from Sturgis. So when you go out there, if you're lucky enough to become a Hoka Hey rider, a finisher, you join the community, you definitely want to pay that respect to try to get out there and visit it, man, because the Hoka Hey Motorcycle Challenge is life altering, it's life challenging, it's life changing. If you ride it right, if you're really in tune with it, it is life changing. You'll see things differently once you've crossed that finish line. After 10 days, 10,000 miles, I'm telling you, it's a whole new experience. Would you say, Eric?
Oh, most definitely. The first one, you get you the bug, you get the grab on, and then you do 14, and then I was just hooked into long distance. I was out there like you, exploring what else is out there. So, they did the memorial ride, and we got to do a parade through Sturgis. We're the only association that was able to do a parade through Sturgis during Sturgis. So, I remember riding through there, and Red Cloud invited us out to his home place, and we're all cotted out and tented out over this place up in Hot Springs, North Dakota. So it was a real bonding experience with all the Hoka Hey riders. So by 16, man, we were all itching, and it had blown up a little bit and got a little bit bigger, and it was about to happen. We were itching for 16.
Right, right.
15 was also when I introduced myself to the Iron Butt Association. Probably started, I did the I started off with like I said, the Kirk Graham Memorial for the Moonshine Burger Run, which is a historic thing during the time. And Kirk Graham was a big rider, and he'd invite like 13 friends out. There's a whole story, and they all showed up. And then from there, it just blew into like 3,000 friends at a big charity. So then I did a Hoagie Carmichael ride that year, and he did it was called the Hillbilly Redneck Run. I'm kind of hillbilly redneck from Tennessee, and right here in the Panhandle of Florida. So I was like, man, that's right up my alley. So I got to meet Hoagie, and he always is a great character, and does this thing right at his house, in his garage and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's also a lot of Hoka Hey riders, or even just riders in particular that I'm still associated with, or still were Hoagie riders as well. I'd run two of his events up in West Virginia, and he does some cookouts and was doing a big thing, Hoagie for riding for. It was a Hoagie charity, riding for the kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and sadly, Hoagie isn't riding anymore, but I still get my morning phone call from him. He's still engaged. He still loves the community, man. But I think his event is going to continue on.
Is it?
And I think so. I think it's going to continue on. Don't hold me to it. But a lot of riders will ride and donate to his charity, the Hoagie Carmichael charity that he does up there.
Hoagie's Heroes.
Hoagie's Heroes. Yeah, Hoagie's Heroes. And so the thing is that if you're looking for an organization to donate to ride for, Hoagie's Heroes. Hoagie's Heroes. It has a Facebook page. I think they even may have a website if it's still up, but he's still going to be running it, man. He's still going to have the opportunity to maybe donate for that cause and for his charity event up there in West Virginia. So listen,
it was always fun. It was always fun. Yeah.
Oh yeah, always fun. And then he loves to cook. He is going to feed you, man. He loves to cook, man.
I was there just a couple months ago eating.
Yeah.
Did some prime rib or brisket or something. That's good.
He loves to cook, man. He loves to cook. Hey, folks, we got COEB on with us tonight, the crazy one-eye biker. And the elephant in the room. Tell us about the story of how you became COEB.
Well, here we are. So now we're going into 16. We've passed by 15. So 16 came up, and I was in the middle of a divorce, and in 15, and I've been riding a lot in 15. So 16 came up, and there's this inaugural ride called America's Ultimate Long Distance Rider Challenge. It was going to start, at the first year. So, I went off on it like a tangent and took off with a couple of guys. As you can see on that one side, it says how many miles happened by the end of the year. There was like 3,500,000 miles amongst all the riders that were participating. I think that was the first year of Rever, and Rob Carlo is the guy behind this event. And I just jumped in and just took it and ran with it, because I was out there soul searching. You got so much racing through your mind. And, like they say, there's never a motorcycle in front of a psychiatrist's office. So I'm out there clearing my head, and then when I get back, it dirty up again, and then I go clear my head, and next thing you know, I'm out there tearing out in the lead. And we just did a Hoagie ride that year, and I was coming back from it. My boy John, his bike, he was on a BMW. That's why I always say I was cursed, because he was riding a yellow BMW. It looked like a bumblebee, and his battery went out. So I had to go rescue him down the road. And I was like hours back. He just sat next to his bike. It was a battery issue. So we got back on the road, but left us real late getting in. And then south of Atlanta, we was trying to get something to eat, but it was already past 10. Everything was kind of closed. But I got all mad, never drive mad. And I'm tearing down the road, like going, fuck you, John. We didn't get to eat nothing and all this stuff. And then and next thing you know, I'm looking for a hotel down around Columbus. And there was a car distressed and they had their lights on. I think they just helped their buddy out and they pulled they were in the fast lane. And I'm over here kind of playing on my, trying to book a room while I'm riding and stuff. We all still kind of do it a little bit here and there. And next thing you know, I don't remember much, but I cut the pack of a PT Cruiser in half and about lost my life. I guess it saved me because my head launched me like Superman into the spoiler he had on top of the PT Cruiser. So I didn't get much body damage at all other than the backup battery John had flew out of my back of my tour pack. I had it in my tour pack and it flew and hit me in the shoulder and broke my shoulder bone or something like that, they said. But got airfloated out. There was a nice lady, I think her name's Jennifer Brown, that sat there with me with John, and they were telling the people he ain't dead. Y'all come get his ass, And I'm just sitting there going, "Hey man, what's going on?" John says, "I said I think I'm dying right here, man." But next thing you know, he got to the hospital, and I'm going, "Look at me now, John. I'm Popeye. Look what you did."
Oh,
So
man.
I had some great people.
Yeah.
Hoagie came out. Rob Sanook came out. Gabe Carrera came out. My whole family came out to visit me in the hospital. I was down for 18 days in the hospital and then got back to the house, and it was a tough recovery. On the 66 days, there was a guy named Way Fast Whitey out of, the Louisiana area, like Lake Charles now, I think. And him and his girlfriend came out at the time and had told me, they were like, "Man, we want to see if you can still ride." So they kind of pressured me to get up on my bike and ride with them. We did about a 300-mile circuit on about 66 day, man. I got the itch again. And I was like, "Man, I'm going out ride. I'm going to go to Maine and get some lobster." So on the 77th day, I rode out to Maine to get some lobster by myself to see if I could still do long distance riding. I'm about 6-7 hours into it around Orange something. I forget, it's Orangeville or something like that in South Carolina. And I'm cutting through there and a motorcycle comes up next to me. And he's like just playing with me. I'm like, I can't see out of this side. So I'm like, keep looking over like I'm trying to see him. He's playing games. Finally, he pulls up. Sure enough, it isn't the legendary Kenneth Andrews. Runs me down on my first ride, man. So we pull over and say hello at the exit. And I was going, "You know what? I know a bar that's open on a Sunday." Yeah, that's where he picked me up after my big wreck in 18 that we'll get to here in a little bit. But it's all Kenneth Andrews. So, we got a special bond from that point on. He was my pit crew in 17 on Iron Butt Rally. And then in 19, he got his own gold ride. And so, he's introduced me to stuff like Tour Honor and, we've been friends. When I was passing, man, he was an Arkansas guy. I'd pass through Little Rock. I go to his little place and see him and stay overnight a couple times.
Okay.
Love that guy.
Yeah, he's down in Florida now, man. I had a talk with him at our RTE in Oklahoma right before I signed up for the RTE. And the conversation that we had super inspired me.
I watched the podcast.
He enlightened me. And it changed my life from that conversation that we had. And I thank him. There's a lot of people I can thank, man, but that conversation that we had, I really paid attention to what he was telling me, not only about the ride, but about myself. So I thank him, man. He's a great guy down in Florida now, down there doing some different kind of labor now.
I called him my spirit animal. One night I got drunk. I said, "You're my spirit animal." And then he pissed me off. I was like, "You're not my spirit animal anymore." He made about 20 or 30 minutes. He was my spirit animal, man. Kenneth Andrews, man. Legendary motorcycle rider.
Just like that, man. Just like that.
So I finished up that Maine trip, picking up all these American Ultimate Long Distance Rider points, and I was still in the lead. And that's when I took that picture with my mom earlier. It said "Mom" on there That's why I stood up on my bike. My mom's like, "You're gonna fall," She's all like, being mom and stuff. And so from there on, I pounded it out the rest of the year. At that point, I'm the crazy one-eyed biker, and I went on to win the America's Ultimate Long Distance Rider Challenge, even through that wreck. Hell, I might have got 100,000 miles that year if I hadn't wrecked.
Yeah, because you ended up with
I was at 70 something and was down
70
forever.
70,269 miles. And how long was that? How was it? Was it January to December? What was the length of time?
Yeah, it ran the whole year.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. 30, 20.
So I ran all the way down to the end, I probably, a couple of Kenneth Andrews probably could have got me. It was an inspiring story of me getting back up off the, the floor mat there and continuing to ride, especially after losing an eye and all that. So I had a lot of people encouraging me along the way, and a lot of people, said some real nice stuff to me along the way for that ride. Appreciate and love everybody that was out there for me that year. So in 17, I don't know.
Mark said, "We're not at Kansas anymore, one eye."
So in 17, I came back and inspired by Kenneth Andrews, and he'd been riding the Tour of Honor a whole lot. I dedicated myself to the Tour of Honor that year, and I was running about second place. I probably would have ended up in second place, but the top rider ended up having some family issues and stuff, and we were waiting on him to get back up, but he never got back up, and I just couldn't stop riding. I had the itch to get out there and ride some more, so I finished out the season and took first place on that. Have the first. It's called the Jack Scholemeyer Award.
Okay. The Jack Scholemeyer.
That gets you the #1 flag the next year. It's an award for getting the most tour honor sites that year.
Okay.
So it meant I wasn't just a fluke on the 1 year in 16. I came back and continued the mission. 17 was also the year of my first Iron Butt rally, so that was an enlightening experience of getting to be on the Iron Butt rally.
What did you ride? What did you ride the first Iron Butt rally on?
I've always been a road glide guy until I did that Fat Bob in 21. Crazy, like. But I've always been a road glide. I did a road glider off the bat in 2012, and then I think I had a 13, and then a 16, and then an 18. Kept moving up the ladder. That's how you do these things. Sometimes you collect them like behind me, and sometimes you give them up. That's the one I donated to John because I was like, man, I don't like that one, man. That one didn't get me back home, So John called it Homer 2 and took it on his ride in 24 and made it back. Got a finish in Alaska up on it.
Okay, you got a little story about Homer, right?
Yeah, let's where we at? We're in 17. I did my first Iron Butt rally, right? And so I'm out there. I got Kenneth Andrews as my road dog on that one. He's gonna do my oil change and hanging out and doing the whole thing, getting the whole tie-in on it. And I get out there and I don't do it right. I'm just like, man, I'm going to Terlingua, Texas, man. There's this goat down there called Mayor Clay the goat or something, Clay Henry the goat. And he was a beer drinking goat, and it was a statue. I'm like, man, I'm going there, man, just to do something fun. Never been down that area. It looked cool. Got down there and lost my flag on the way there. Didn't know what to do, and went back looking for my flag. Got delirious. I had to go read the rule book. I had to put my picture in every picture after that, and got a small penalty for it. But it kind of took the sale out of it early on, but I kept mustering through because I always tell everybody what's the biggest thing you want to do in an Iron Butt rally. I was like, well, get that number, man, get to the finish line, participate, man. Don't matter what place you get, finish is the finish. They don't ever ask you what place you got. Usually they ask you, did you finish? Yeah, you ever finished the Iron Butt rally? From then on, I was Iron Butt finisher, on top of the, So I took, the 16 and then 17, and I was a finisher of the Iron Butt rally. So, look at this crazy one-eye biker. And, you know, a year and a half before that, I'd known I was going to be on it. So through my wreck, I was already going to be on it. There I am, 3-time finisher of the Iron Butt Rally. That was the one that I did with you. So you got your gold on that one.
I did,
and I was finishing up my third one.
I got lucky on that. I got real lucky on that, man.
That was your first one, right?
That was my first Iron Butt Rally. That was my first rally, period. But I had, I had prep and study on mapping with Lionel Ramos, L Train, and I mean, for about 2 months, I would travel up to and visit him, and we sit down and eat pizza and eat pho until the late night hours, and then I'd get on my bike and I'd ride 2 or 3 hours back home. But I kept working it, man. So I really was dedicated to it, and I thank him for teaching me mapping, and the rest was my riding skills, man. But I contributed all to Lionel Ramos, L Train, working with me with mapping. So if anybody looking at doing rally rides, the Hop Rally is a good one. The Heart of Texas Rally is a good one. And
so you asked me, I done 5 of those. I did 5 of those, and next month, in the middle of this month, I got the Hops rallies going on. So the Hops rallies are a good intro one to get you into the sport. I've done about 3 of his, done 5 of Paul Tong's Heart of Texas rallies. They always got cool themes behind them. You know, they put a lot of thought into these things that makes it really fun and interesting, much like the Iron Butt does. Now Paul's in charge of the Iron Butt. And remember before this picture, you know, we got the 2022 where I rode with you and Lionel on the Hoka Hey. On the first leg, me, you, Lionel, Dave Yule, we're pounding it out the front on the first leg.
On the first leg, you was at the first checkpoint for you was first at the first checkpoint.
Was I?
Yeah. Man, I'm gonna cut this interview short tonight.
Yeah, like I didn't remember that, huh? Oh yeah, you know that's the highlight of my life, man. I was like, I told him in 2020, I was like, man, I'm gonna be the first guy to the first checkpoint. These guys are sleeping. I was like, I ain't gonna sleep the whole way. I'm gonna go to the first checkpoint and get there. And then I remember best boyfriend Rick. He was like, man, you said you'd do it, and you did it. I'm like, that's cool, man. And then you got Riot there from the Monster Mile charity and doing all his things, man. And lovely stuff he does for Duchenne muscular dystrophy.
Yeah. Shout out to
he throws some events through the year that I participate in here and there. Get there.
Yep. Doc, you got a question?
Get him a plug in.
Yeah, indeed. You have a question for COEB?
Yeah, I actually want to go back a little bit to the RTE. I want to know like how it started, because you said Reef and K Solo had their RTE a couple years before you started. So I want to know like what made you say, oh, this is a cool concept or a good idea. I want to do it, but I want to do a spinoff and make everybody go all over the place all year long instead of just one, you know. So I want to know how, and I saw the Bells had asked the same question, like, how did you come up with that concept for RTE?
Good question. I got the answer for that one. That one's that I was doing America's Ultimate Long Distance Rider Challenge in 16 where I won it, and I continued to participate in 17 and 18, getting, you know, some places in there, 5, 6, whatever it was those years. But Rob had come online and said, what would you like to see as more spots? And that's when I was sitting there going, man, I'd like to see some of these. I'd like to pull into some restaurants and stuff. But it really wasn't. It's not an item that you could really put into a ride like that unless somebody basically created a map. And so I was telling my buddy, I was like, man, it'd be cool if, you know, he was like, man, you should do a map. My buddy Brian Farrell, he was like, man, you should do a map. You should write it. You should create your own thing. And I was like, you know, maybe I can do that. So I had just enough time, pushed it together, pushed out the Facebook page in 19, and then it was on from there. You know, I'd made a website for it, a little web page for it. And, you know, you'll see they got past history rider. Solo's got him in 19 and 21. You got Hallequist, Jeff Hallequist in 20. And So that's how it started. I was going to try to make an addition, and then Rob actually picked up on it and dropped it in, and it was an extra on the America's Ultimate Long Distance Rider Challenge. It was a category from then on for 4 or 5 years after that. I think we finally gone different ways. There's my man Solo going 2021.
I'm just gonna drop that in there.
Hey,
so y'all did see the 19 and the 2021.
There I am presenting it to you. It took me a while to get that trophy out too, man. I think I had to give it to you up there in Hoka Hey Sam Ron or something that year.
Yep, we was at the start of the 22. We had started the 22 Hoka Hey Motorcycle Challenge up in South Dakota. And
who would know I beat you to the first checkpoint? It was much like my one in 14. I was like, man, everybody's going to pile in to get gas at the same point. So I pulled off early, even though I had full tank of gas. Maybe I didn't even have full tank of gas. I pulled in at halfway and got gas. So then I was passing everybody by. The gas pumps lined up. Ended up shooting right up into 10th place or something and started riding with the front of the pack. And from then on, I just followed Dave Yule and Lionel. We just L-trained. That's where we just trained it up, man. I just was the caboose on their little ride, man, for a long time. And we met up with you out there and, a couple of the other guys. There was some tickets given out. So Hopper and Kenneth Andrews were out early. I got pulled over once, but only got a warning. Okay, Solo, show it to me. I was like, show it to him. It said warning on it. I was like, man, it says warning, man. I didn't get a real ticket. Like, damn it, man. I wanted you out too, man.
Oh,
he needed people out his way.
Man.
He was on the mission to get it that year, man. And, we got stuck at one point. The road was closed.
The road construction, but we still went down it though, man. The guy was like, y'all can go ahead. Not running yet.
Well, one road was actually closed, and so I'd gone back, and they're on the phone, and they're rerouting and all that. And I'm sitting on the side of the road looking at my maps, and a local pulls up. He says, "What's going on?" I said, "That one road's closed. I'm trying to get around." He's like, "Just take the 111 right there, man. Let's go side by side with it." So because Solo had been on a couple rides with me, and we'd already been back there frustrating with it, trying to find this road, I called him up. I said, "Man, I found the road through there." Local guy says the 111. Go look it up on your map. So I get to the end, and he's like, "Man, I can't find it." Then he finds it, and we meet up, and I'm trying to go the wrong way. So he saved me then later because I'm trying to go the opposite way. And he's going, "Man, I think it's this way." And he takes off over this damn bridge that's all closed down. And I don't see him for a while, and I keep studying my map on the side of the road. Probably about 10 minutes later, I realized that was the way to go. Started going in that direction. A few minutes later, man, Solo's going the other way. And I'm going, "What's up?" And we stop and talk. He's, "Man, I'm out of gas. There ain't no gas up here, man." I'm like, "Well, sucks to be you, man." And I keep on blazing on, man. I was like, I felt him hard on my heels from there, man. I started going a little faster. I was like, man, it was at nighttime. I was like, man, this light's not worth me sitting at, man. I was like, he's going to close in on me, man. So that's how I ended up getting the first to that checkpoint that day, man. And we went all probably came in together hot. But that he ran out of gas.
Yeah, man. That was we pulled in, and there he is sitting there like, "What's up? Where you guys been, man? Where you guys been?" Like,
I gotta get it. Come on in, man. We're getting a picture here, man. Look at me. Y'all point at me, man. Gotta take my trophy when I can get it, man. I probably wasn't getting it at the end, but I was getting it right then, man. I was like, man, I already won this thing. I just sleep in from there. Solo's thinking I'm running hot. He's sitting right next to me, man. If I pinch a move, he's moving too, man. I was like, I end up letting them all go and round out with Dave Yule in the morning.
Yeah,
me and Lyle kept riding. I think. And then I lost them. They got in front of me.
Yeah, when we got there, they hadn't even had the instructions out yet, man. They weren't even set up.
Right really helped us out because he had his blues fighters. Yeah, the booze fighters were there, and he had a local chapter, and they were able to print some stuff off for us, like Rambo style, going in the back office at their house or something.
Man, we got some
stories. That was some stories on that ride for sure.
Yes, indeed, man. Yes, indeed.
So So let's turn it back to 18 though, you know, because that was a good one.
Bring it back. Yeah, that was a good one. Go ahead.
So Jim had passed away, and we'd done the funeral, and we gone up there and you know, had done his funeral, and I first got to see the Devil's Tower, a spectacular sight, you know, in the you know, out in the world. If you're gonna go see that, I think it was the very first one that was turned into a national park. It was such a lovely area there, and yeah, me and you at the base of it. You said you've done that one before and camped out down there, didn't you, Solo?
Yeah, at the COEB.
Right. I just pulled. I was daytime, so I was like, I ain't staying. I got damn mission. I got things to do.
Right. So folks, if you get out there, Devil's Tower, it is considered sacred by the Lakota and other indigenous tribes of the Northern Plains. Some people may remember it off of one of the extraterrestrial movies. What was that movie? Help me out. What was that movie with Devil's Towers in?
Something Encounters of the First Kind.
Yeah, Close Encounters. Yeah. Good deal. Good deal. Hey man, we are truly enjoying this episode tonight. I told Eric, I said, Eric, you just have at it, man. Share your story, share your adventures and journeys. Doc, you're gonna have to just chime in where you can, man.
I see.
You want to have to chime in because just go for it. I'm just sitting back enjoying because I remember some of these tales.
This 18 tells a good one. The 18 coming up right here is a good one.
Let's hear it, man.
All right, so I'm on the board at that point, and we're doing our thing with the Hoka Hey board, helping out Beth, you know, because she, you know, we're all grieving Jim's passing and all that, and he was a spiritual leader for all of us. So, you know, me and John, we did some scouting out in 17 for him, and Blackie had proposed it be down to Medicine Park. We went down to Medicine Park and checked it all out. Man, it was such a cool town. We met some of the people down there. Said, hey, can we do it here? And everybody, all the board got together. We put it down there in Medicine Park that year. It's such a lovely little village to do it in. And by that point, I was definitely the merchandise salesman of the group by that point. So we had full merch going on, and T-shirts were going on in 18. I proposed a T-shirt design and the belt buckle, you know, coming from all that. It's like, we're going to do a belt buckle. We got the T-shirt going on, you know, help lift anything we could off Beth and really rally around her. And so my Harley-Davidson, my local one, was the first checkpoint. So, you know, so I was like, oh, I got them to sign on. And then that ended up gravitating into 2020, then being actually a host site for it. That's we kicked it off in 2020, same dealership. But you know how it is working with the great dealerships, man, and that they really help out us ride community, you know, especially with some of these events. You know, I've seen you sponsor a bunch of them over the years, and they sponsor you.
Right. Yep.
So we take off, man, and it's going. I mean, I've got Gabe Carrera running one of his best first rounds, and I'm coming in with Fetty, me and him running 1 and 2, and behind Billy Fultz, and we pull into the checkpoint. I'm signing in as 2 and 3, man. We're running hot, man. You know, coming in, it's my home checkpoint. I tried to rally right. I think some people were trying to wake me up. I wouldn't wake up. Finally, I woke up, started trailing them. I was in third a long time. I finally caught Fetty a couple times, rode with him. Early on, I remember Paco was sitting on the side of the road on his Indian, and he crapped out. And I pulled up to him and said, hey, man, you need some help? Can I help you? I was ready to help out. I was kind of on the board. He was like, man, I got this, man, and I'll see you later. I was like, yeah, go see me later. I thought it was a joke. Later on, man, here comes Paco, man. Okay, screaming, man, up to the front, man. So me, Fetty, and Paco, we're like rolling down the road together, man. And we're doing 2 and stuff. Like, I remember y'all were going 2. Where's 2? I remember doing 2 with Fetty and Paco. We're just ripping down that road up there in Montana. And every time we miss a checkpoint or we miss a turn and it's wrong or something on the map, it's like Lionel and Fetty, they'd be calling in. They'd be like, hey, man, I'll be like, don't call them, man. The next guy's got to miss it too, you know. I don't want them damn fucking catching up and stuff, man, you know. So finally, we're riding together, and we're down around Farmington. We're only like 1,000 miles out. I got like 1 more 1,000 miles to the finish line. We're going to come in 2, 3, and 4. Nobody could get Billy. He was way out there, man. I was like, you can go get him. I'm not getting him. I'm gonna sit back with you guys or watch you guys. I'll take 4th place. No problem, you know, because I was on the board. I felt, you know, giving, you know. And so I'm on the board feed because of that. And then that's the 4th one that I got with you, though. But I'm a 4-time finisher of the Hoka Hey. That was in 2022. So I'm rolling hard, and Fetty and then Paco and Fetty stopped, and I didn't really realize it at first, but then I was on the board feed, and they said Joe Fink had died, and I was like, oh man, this sucks, man. It's when a brother goes down and dies, man. It's happened a couple too many times on some of the big rides and stuff, and so it kind of hit me. I wasn't ready to go to sleep, so I decided to go through this mountain range up there around Farmington. There's this mountain range, and I'm swipping back, and I'm gonna just park my bike on the other side of the mountain. And I was like, I'm not gonna stay in the mountain. It gets a little creepy. I'd rather be about, I'll stay anywhere, but sometimes a gas station or somewhere, like, it's feeling a little better.
Do you camp, COEB? Do you camp? Do you just Hoka Hey? Sleep. What is your preferred rest? I mean, other than hotels.
Hold on, I got to finish the story, and then we'll go into that.
Right, go ahead.
All right, so I'm doing these switchbacks, and all of a sudden, a juvenile bull elk that got run out of the herd jumps right in front of me like a deer, man. I'm just like majestic damn animal in front of me, size of a horse, and I just run right into it, smack into it, man. I'm like, I go Superman. All I can remember is just running through the air, swimming, trying to get myself sideways, man. Turn myself right up. I got knocked out, and then got up at the scene of the crime and was like, what's going on? I remember going to the elk, and he lifted his head one more time before he died. I said a blessing for him, apologized for my participation in the incident, and try to just rummage the scene. There's no cars coming through. It's like 3:00 in the morning. And so finally a car rolls by, and they just blow by me as I'm like waving at them on the side of the road. I'm looking like a zombie with one eye and beat up after 9 days. And the wreck that just happened. So then a second car does the same thing to me, but they actually turn around, and these little old ladies are in the car, and they crack their window down, and they give me a little water, and I tell them when they get down the other side, I can't get no signal up in this mountain range on one of my phones. I had 2 phones, and one of them I couldn't find, one of them I found. So finally I go down there, and I'm like sifting through my stuff and going through my stuff, and John had loaded my bag up with 4 joints from Dan Washington, and I told him I wouldn't carry them, and then I decided to anyhow. So I'm like grabbing that out. I'm like, what do I do with it? I need to throw it. So I'm limping around, all beat up knee, broken hand, lifting up a boulder, throwing it up under there. And finally that's over. So I'm like, got a cigar, and I'm like smoking a cigar. But I put out my cot. I had a cot at the time. There you go, Solo. I had a cot that I sat on with just a blanket and put something behind my head. It's like a little fold-out cot. You put it together real quick. It's like called the Easy Cot, I believe that's the name of it. And so it seemed like forever. I cheaped that cigar down to nothing. Finally, ambulance shows up. I hop in the ambulance. I won't tell them what's going on. The little lady is jacked me up with some good stuff to make me feel better, because I just wrecked. And she's like, I'll give you some stuff. She's like, I'm the girlfriend of the local Bandito president and all this. And I was like, well, I've been on the Hoka Hey ride and all this stuff. And I actually busted it out to her at that point, but I probably shouldn't have. I told her I got knocked out. So it ended up when they got me to the hospital, they x-rayed my hand, so I had broken bones in my hand. And my knee was really bad off. I had a big old busted up knee on my leg, and they cut all my britches off of me. So at the end, when they finally checked me out, I refused to get a CAT scan. And so that I got to the curb, and they kicked me out because it's like a Native American. So I guess they've kicked people out a few times before me. And so it kind of felt like protocol. I'm like 4:00 in the morning calling John Levins up. I'm like, man, I wrecked out here in Farmington, and I totaled my bike out. So I guess I'm out, man. I was running really good up here. I think, what do you think if I get a taxi down here to the local Harley and see if I can't get a new bike, maybe I can still salvage a top 10 out of this. And there was a big silence on the phone. I'm like, well, that's kind of awkward silence. And then he's like, you'd be a badass if you did that. I'm like, all right. I was like, I kind of would be, wouldn't I? So I was like, next thing you know, I'm calling a taxi, get down to Harley. 14 hours later, I'm on a Harley, and I'm in 4th place still. Coming out there with that was the picture earlier with Kenneth Andrews and Buddy, my sales guy. I was like, I made his day. Had to sleep outside in the behind it. I kept moving with the sun. It was out there in New Mexico, Farmington, and moving with the sun to stay outside, keep with my protocol. So Kenneth comes by to pull me out because we're friends, of course, like that, from the earlier instances and stuff. So we're on the phone. I'm like, come by and get me, man. Pull me out of here. So we get back on the road, get to the scene of the crime where I wrecked, saying up in the mountain there. And I'd sent him back to go do some 15 miles that he missed to come pick me up. I was like, can't miss nothing, man. You got to go backwards. He went and cleaned up his route, came back to get me. We put stickers up on the rail right there at the crash scene and finished on out. Riot came blowing by us at one point while I was waiting on Ken. And then I told Ken to go chase Riot down. He did and passed Riot at the end. So they were like 1, 2, 3, 4, and whatever. I was 6 because he had, Billy Bolts, then Fetty and Paco, and then Kenneth, and then Riot, and then me. Always the bridesmaid, it seems like, but, trying to come in the top, still running hard, you valiant effort, getting back up. When we got to town, nobody wanted to know who won it. They want to know who hit the bull elk and still got 6th place. So it was I continued the legend of 16, 17 with the Tour of Honor and 16 with it. And then, 17 getting my first Iron Butt Rally finish, and then nice top 6 finish for the COEB on the 18 ride. Then we get to 19 where we did we start the journey. Mm-hmm. We start the great journey of me being Homer, Alaska, and doing my second Iron Butt Rally ride, and starting the ride to eat. That was 19. Wow. So that's where we're at. We're getting caught up over the ages, to where eventually in 2020 I ended up hosting it, not doing as much that year, but hosting the Hoka Hey Motorcycle Challenge. That was a good one. Oh yeah. So 2021, that's where we missed the 21.
Man. That's what I was ready to hear. The Fat Bob, man.
Yeah, remember back in 08, that was my first ride, and everybody always complained, that you couldn't do a Hoka Hey Motorcycle Challenge. The crossover between the Iron Butt Rally and Hoka Hey was mainly, that they want to get a damn American-made V-twin, And so I was like, well, hell, I'll get a damn Fat Bob and go ride it on your event. You could get a Fat Bob and ride it on our event. You know what I'm saying? So I took off. Oh, well, you got the picture of that bald tire then. I called Paco up, and the dealership wouldn't change my tire out. They were like, we'll change it. And then they were like, we won't change it. My motor mounts went out. And I'm like I told them, pull up my bike back out, man. It's 50-50. I'm either going to make it to the finish line or I'm not, right?
Right. How many miles did you ride on this tire?
I did 11,000 miles in 11 days because that's after 17 I didn't get the 11,000, and they were like, "Well, did you really finish?" Because it's like the coin. So I was like, "I'm always getting 11 after this," So I never went under 11 after that. I didn't know that was like a rule. Kind of not a rule, but amongst the friends, they can probe you. Like I ain't giving you the chance to do that, man. I get mine. So that was my good second finish on a Fat Bob. I got a bronze place. That's actually the best I've done on Iron Butt Rally. I kind of defeat myself out there and do, not get my pictures right or lose flags or in the case of 19. In 19, I was up there. I'd gone like almost 5,000 miles on the first leg, all the way from Greenville, South Carolina, went down to Florida, got all to Arizona, all the way up to Washington. And then that was the checkpoint up there. It was like almost 5,000 miles in 84 hours. So it was like probably my longest ride I'd done, talk about blinking and all that. That's definitely happened on that ride. But I got there, and then I was like, I'm going for the big home run, man. I'm going up in Alaska. It'll be my second time. They're like, you sure? I was like, I've been before. I know the roads suck. So I went on up in there. I think there's a picture back there where the roads suck real bad. But we got all the way up there. Yeah, look at them kind of roads you get, man, when you fall. I was going solo. That was actually in 14, but I was solo going up there. I decided I went all the way down to the Skagway to get the points there, and then I decided to go to the top of the border from Dawson City. There was a big dredge up there, and the lights are all up there, but they were like, hey, if you hop on the ferry, you're not going to get across the border on the second border at the top, on the top of the mountain highway. top of the world highway, I think it's called. And so I'm cutting across top of the world highway, stop for a picture there for sure, you know, on into Chicken. And then I'm not coming out of Alaska without points to get a gold ride. So I go on down to the Kennecott Iron Mines and get the one there. And you got to cross a pedestrian bridge and run up a river road and all this kind of crazy stuff. And sketchy road up there, they were like, man, it's going to be forever. And then I was like, I actually stood up on my bike, you know, because you can get the weight down and you can slide in that dirt a little better, man. Well, on a Harley, you know, it slides all over the place. So, man, I was just killing it, man. I guess they were 35. I was probably doing 65 on the dirt road, man, sliding out the gravel and stuff. So after doing all that and getting to Homer and coming on back, I was at this little mountain lodge, the last place about 75 miles north of Fort Nelson, because that's where. So I'm cutting through there, and I'd heard I was Homer at that point, so I was kind of like coming a little hotter now. I was like, man, you're Homer, Alaska, you know, and I was like, man, everybody's rooting on me. I went viral there saying my buddy was. So I was like, because they don't know who you are, you're just a blimp. But some guy said when they saw me in Homer, they were like, he could still make it in time, and so that's how they were like, go Homer, go. So I'm flooring it, but I'm getting pulled over. He didn't give me a ticket. I get held up at them checkpoint. You know, get back into the country. Everything seems to be holding me up everywhere I go. You know. So finally, I slide out into this damn area right where the damn thing is, and I catch it though. But I have to straighten it up, put on the brakes. I'm going about 5 miles an hour and just roll my front tire into the dirt. You know, but it's like soft. Just sinks in on a Harley. You're really heavy front end on a Harley. I go Starsky and Hutch rolling down the damn thing. My bike rolls over. And I'm trying to pick it up, but a guy in a Subaru is coming the other way, and he comes out to help me. He's a big guy, big motor. Yeah, he doesn't look quite like a motorcycle guy, but he looks like, yeah, he could ride a motorcycle. So he's going to pick it up. I'm trying to pick it up. We got gas coming out of both my auxiliary tank and my other tank because I'm like my gas caps are at all the gas stations I left behind. So I put duct tape over it, you know, some black duct tape over it just to hold the cast fumes and stuff in and keep it from splashing. But when it's on its side, it's obviously gushing out at me. And so we go to pick it up, and they don't want you to have stickers or sponsors on Iron Butt Rally. So I put blue tape all over my stickers so I'd have to take it off. But my buddy John had wrote Iron Butt Rally number 570 because I'd already earned one back in 17. I had a 3-digit number already. And he goes to pull me up and he goes, hey, man, you on the Iron Butt Rally? And I was like, yeah, I am. That's why I'm kind of like in a hurry to get up out of here, you know. And so he picks it up. I was on that thing back in 1987 with my dad. I was like, what? I was like, man, no way, man. So it was like so surreal and like meant to be, you know. And I wish, you know, if I'd taken a minute, you know, to even meet the guy a little more. I met him one more time. It was I gave you his name. I looked it up. It was Paul something, Paul Jr. there.
Yeah.
So he said he was like number 33. I mean, he was like one of the original guys to ever do the Iron Butt Rally. I'm like 570, you know. He's like, but I thanked him and went on about my mission. Always check your bike. So what ended up happening is I caught a rock in my sprocket when I did that slide out, and it kept hitting my belt. So 75 miles down the road, I ended up losing my drive belt. And I was like, rah, 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 going nowhere. I'm like, the drive belt sitting back there. I'm pulling over. Got a picture of me calling Beth. Lisa Landry up, going, I'm out. You know, letting her know I'm okay, but I'm done. Everybody's rooting on me. Couldn't bring it home. You know, you always hate defeat, but you learn so much in defeat. And the taxi cab driver comes by, and he's the guy. There was only one guy in town that could fix it, and he had this like a little thing up the road there, and a guy named Billy and Wilma and Trevor. And Trevor had the warehouse, and we all got my bike up there and sat up there drinking whiskey and smoking pot for a bunch of days. I was like, I don't even smoke pot much, but I had to with them because that's what their thing was. I was like, man, if you fix my bike, man, we're friends, man. we're doing this. I go back to my high school days, man, when we was teaching and shit. You know?
So
You
what are the
remember all John Levins on the 18, man? I went back down there when I was waiting on him, pulled up that boulder, man, and pulled this little 4-joint pack that he got legally up in Washington, and brought it back to Madison Park. I did have to hit on that after I brought that back for him. I was like, man, I can handle whiskey a little bit better. That stuff makes me stupid.
hey,
You're
what
a
are the
whiskey drinker.
qualifications, y'all?
Say again, Doc.
What are the qualifications for these rallies like Iron Butt, the Hoka Hey? Can anybody just sign up and say, or I heard K Solo say it was a selection process. How does it work?
I think you need to build a little bit of a resume for yourself, that always helps out, obviously, taking out the America's Ultimate Long Distance Rider and doing some of the smaller saddle sore rides, put a couple bun burners in, show you can do some long distance riding. They want some kind of qualification. They just don't want you to come in like I probably did on the first one and just be like, hey, I'm Eric Buskill, I want to ride. And, there's probably less rules back in 2012. Obviously, it's grown and, it's harder to get into them all, being from 12, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, that I see by 20, it really, the whole culture had gotten, such a small community before. I mean, all the events have gotten so much bigger than they ever were. But I would build a little bit of a resume before signing up, definitely build some strength under you. I don't know if you should do it the way I did in 12 or 14, but definitely by 17 and I started building a resume 15 and 16 to feel like I was legit by 17 and 18 and 19 to probably be qualified, that they probably were going to be like, hey, we want him in this ride. Maybe not. They don't want all the crazy people can't show up. Just a couple of us.
Everybody that does these rides are crazy, man. But the thing about it though is it's a different level of riding. Is some, like the Hoka is not a competition, but it's you challenging, pushing yourself. That's what I like about it. And also, you get a title of being a professional rider. It's not just riding a motorcycle. It's you sustaining yourself, you getting yourself out of situations and predicaments. Would you agree?
Oh yeah. I mean, I've gone off road a few times and I was really just grabbing for anything, but I was grabbing for that brake. I was grabbing for anything, but I kept the throttle on because I do that front brake. And when you grab the front brake, you can also, so I'm like continuing on. So you learn the oh shit way, how to keep your bike going, because you get that speed wobble, but you need to throttle out, but you're not trying to throttle out. You're trying to brake, but I kept the throttle on by accident because I was grabbing throttle and brake, and it straightens up and it'll get you out of some horrific scenarios that you're going, oh man. I look behind me and have a big old Lionel dust cloud from Peanuts behind me, and the cars are driving through it, and they're like, man, did you see what that guy just did? And I was like, yeah, I saved it.
I got a question for you. Got a question for you. What has been the biggest challenge of running a business while maintaining your passion for riding, man?
Huh. That's a good one. I mean,
because everybody can't just get out there and ride.
Well, it's changed over the years. I think, obviously after I lost my eye at 16, I was like, well, fuck it, man. I'm just like, I almost died. So I want to go out there and live my life, and had a whole different cause, and business came second for a long time. And then, at some point, you lose some family members, and, like you said, like I was telling you earlier, you get out there on the road, and I mean, it saves your life. You get so much going through your head, and if you can clear it out and come back, and you'll be, everybody's had problems, and you just roll through it, and the same thought just goes over and over and over in your head. And when you finally get out on the road, eventually you're like, man, I didn't even name this bike yet. You cleared it out. And obviously when you get back home, it all comes back, but then you can just get right back out there and get that clear head. So it really saves you a lot, over the years. It saved me from, my own head, my own therapy that I need. It's wind therapy for sure. And all of us that have done the long distance riding, and, and obviously, there's nothing you can get back from seeing the world, man, the 48 states. And there's always, so you could do laps around it and keep seeing great stuff. And if you're one that don't appreciate the nature, man. You get out there. I mean, how can you not? It's just beautiful out there. Some of the beautiful. I never took enough pictures, but they're all in my head, man. I was like, man, I've seen it. I've seen this and that and the other, and and live the fear. I mean, there's nothing like some being scared out there to make you feel like you're alive, like pain does. Some pain and some fear, man. That lets you know you're alive, huh?
Yeah, yeah, indeed. Doc, you got
But
any
yeah,
questions?
managing the business. I got some great guys. Donut, they all been working for me for years. Donate's a key man behind the RTE. Everybody getting their certificates and all that. I get all the credit for it. So let's put some Brian Donut Ward on there for all he's really been doing, and
Oh yeah,
a little bit of Chris Dowd and his ingenious to be able to work that website and stuff like that. So I'm able to point fingers a lot, make a lot of shit happen just off my dumb ideas that end up being great for all of us riders. And we got another event coming up. Bring that up, what I'm saying, coming up, the Bam Baker Memorial Ride. We called it the Big Tip Road Trip because he came up with it.
That's right. There you go. Perfect. Right there.
And you can do 1,000 miles in this one, the 1,000 miles in 24 hours to get there. You can ride anywhere to do it. He came up with it. And I was like, well, I thought it was going to Durham and North Carolina and not Durham, Ontario or something. So I was like, well, I'll make it up to Durham and do a small one. And we were friends. So I reached out to him, said I was going to do something inside of the RT, pull it off on the 17th because that was the first day that he did his, and I copied up on it. The next year he was out there and riding around Australia and passed away. So I kind of nominated it to him, the Bam Baker Memorial Ride. And every year on the 17th, we do what's called the Big Tip Road Trip, and you go eat somewhere and, you drop your girl. I think his thing was $50, but, I mean, leave what you want. Everybody's got their own budget. I'm like, so I don't restrict anybody. I'm like, yeah, if you go out there and leave a tip for somebody and help make somebody's day, as a solo person, rolling in and eating a $20 breakfast and leaving a $50 tip, man, it kind of makes some people's days. And a lot of us will share, it's all about sharing it on the Facebook feed for a lot of us, bringing the riders together. And if we can't ride, we get to watch everybody else ride. And RTX USA was another forum. I think we call it RTX for short sometimes. But it's been another forum for the community to get out there and do something. It's been rewarding for me, another way to give back, and especially with the new stickers this year. There's my new one.
Let me see
Oh yeah, here's the new one. I kind of copied the color of the RT, the Ride to Eat, so they kind of look alike. So I'm the man behind it and all that. You got
right, right.
Kind of
Looks
give
good.
it a little
Looks
theme.
good.
Yeah, thanks.
I must say the shirts are really nice. You gifted me a shirt, man, and I greatly appreciate it, and I thank you when you came to the RTE. So folks, I'm telling you, man, get you some merch. It's the best.
Well, if you don't want to do your own ride and you want to join us down there in Galveston, Texas on the 17th, we're going to be at Doc's Roadhouse, Doc Holiday's Roadhouse in Galveston, Texas is the plan. So you joined us at Boudreaux in Thibodaux's. I think Sharif was the one that called it out, and we all just showed up. Last year, I didn't really have a big turnout. We went out into Florida and stuff. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully, we get some good weather on that day, and everybody comes on out to Galveston, and we have a good time. There's a hotel at Doc's, but we're actually going to, do lunch at Doc's, Doc Holiday's Roadhouse, and then move on down the road. There's a spot called The Spot. They got some bars around there and the Holiday Inn there. I think it'd be a good second spot.
What time is the link up? It's gonna be noon.
I would say probably I'm shooting for 1. If somebody gets there early or whatever, I try to miss the early, noon time probably. Since we're all hanging out, maybe we'll go for about 1 o'clock. I'm thinking, but for everybody that comes in, and some people ride out because it's just a lunch run, and some people hang over. We're coming from Panama City Beach, so I'll probably try, if I can get my 1,000 in and then pull in there, I'll be ready to stop for the night.
Right. Okay.
So we did one I put the 1,000 in for Boudreaux and Thibodaux's. I got 2 on my list for the RTXs. I'm trying to add 3, so all of us certificate seekers, you know what I'm saying? We got to keep adding them up. I got my 28 goals and keep trying to limp towards 100 of them, you know what I'm saying? I guess you get diamond status, you know, so I'm limping towards diamond status. It takes oh no, I'm working there. Maybe when I totally retire, I'm gonna get me 100,000 in there, and I got some bucket list items like the cruise around America like you did, and maybe a True X. Old Chuck Marble in there. I mean, he was the old man. What did he do? Like 8 of them,
10,
8 True
man.
X's, and he's like
10 or something like that,
75 or something. So
yeah,
I'm only 56, so I might have another. I got a 15-year career in so far. So if I can get another 20 out of this, maybe I could be Chuck Marble doing 8 True X's.
right. Yeah.
I remember the first time I heard of a True X was he was wearing a hat, and I was asking about it. I was like, "What's that?" He's like, "That's Southern California Motorcycle Association ride."
That's right.
They got some cool ones, and I signed up a few times.
Okay.
I never did any of them.
Hey, you're gonna enjoy that Rat 48 though. You enjoy the Rat 48.
Is that the
the Rat 48?
Well, I did all 48 in 1 year, but I always wanted to do the 48 in 10 days, and so there's some items I hadn't got done yet. So there's plenty on the bucket list for all of us. For all y'all that are just starting out, or anybody that's already been doing it for a while, there's always plenty out there. After you did your second RT, you said, I just got more things to do out here, man. There's things to see and do, that, you end up doing your iron butt rally. And so you got your 3-digit number, and you're a 3-digit number for Hoka Hey? What's your Hoka Hey number?
990.
Yeah. You stay down there. You got there ain't gonna be a lot of us 3-digit numbers left, man. We got 3, man. Because Hoka's already over 4. If you're a 3-4, you're not the same. I remember in 16, I wrecked out. I brought it up to you. In 16, I'd wrecked out, and Fetty had made a nice comment on Facebook for me as he came in the finish line. But Blackie had made this cool thing. I think they were going to auction it off for charity, but they elected to all sign it. So all these 3-digit rider numbers in 16, they all signed this big old deer skin and gave it to me. Let me pull it up. So,
yeah. Look at that collection of bikes he got, folks, man.
Yeah. Oh, it's a blessing. I had to bust it out for the show, everybody signed it, and it's a nice deer skin, I had it on my wall for a while. It's
nice.
It was an honor, It was an honor for me, in life to be recognized, even when you're down, the community will rally around you.
And that's what I enjoy about the long distance riding community, man, and the Hoka Hey riding community. Doc, you got a question for COEB?
Yeah, COEB. How has motorcycling shaped who you are today, or on and off the motorcycle?
Well, early on, Hoka Hey had put the principles in you that you should be riding with honor, respect, integrity, and compassion. And, I know in 2022, even though I got the first place on the first one, I knew it was last year, the belt buckle. And, like I told y'all earlier, I was kind of feel like one of the board members as I sell the merchandise. I wanted to make sure that I was running at the back of the front pack and that everybody in front of me had got a certificate. The belt buckle, if they had the opportunity to, ahead of me, because I already had mine in 18 and stuff. So as I came in, at the back of the pack, I felt like I'd accomplished the mission of being compassionate out there. Sometimes you're not as compassionate while you're out there doing these events. And I sometimes even early on, being as much as a dick, to be a selfish rider. And, you come around and, if you can learn honor, respect, integrity, and compassion through these rides, as I've 9 of them now, and, not nearly as hungry as I was back in, 16, 17, 18, maybe even 19, after hosting it, you become a little more humbled as a rider. And so those are the things you definitely build your character, through life and death experiences out there on the road. And, I mean, look at the riding community. They're such lovely people, and it's got to be something that we all learn together out there on the road when we do these long distance riding, especially ones that actually, get out there and get off the couch and they don't have to do it as big as Iron Butt rallies and Hoka Hayes, but put you 1,000 miles in, show up at a couple little rallies. Even some of the smaller ones are fun. You don't have to go out to win them. To go out and participate in them and see who the community is, who's in the community, and Kenneth Andrews said it once when I'm out there. I'm going, I don't remember you, and he looks at him and says, "You got to make yourself memorable."
That's right.
So get out there and make yourself memorable. Do something. Brand yourself. He's K Solo. I'm the crazy one-eyed biker. A lot of us have names and stickers and promote ourselves a little bit. It's not too far to promote yourself a little bit, and have a couple rides under your belt. You know what I'm saying? And get out there and be a member of the community of long distance riding for sure. Obviously, the Iron Butt Association and the Hoka Hey are ways, but there's smaller ways. Wolf Bonham has a cool little thing that he does where you can start anywhere. I've done a couple of his now. They're a lot of fun. They're like 1-day rallies, 10-hour rallies and stuff like that. Get your name out there with people. A lot of fun.
I have a question for you, COEB. At your level now of riding, the events you participated in, what inspires you to keep going, and who is an inspiration to you?
I mean, you're an inspiration to me, man.
Oh,
Kenneth
man.
Andrews, Jim Owens, you meet all these legends along the way, man. I've watched, Fetty win and Billy Fultz and, all the big ones, that have won along the years.
What keeps you going though, man? What keeps you going?
Well,
You've done it all. You've done major rides, major rallies.
Old age, man. Old age. I'm glad I started in my 40s, man, because it gets harder as you get older. So I watch these old guys still doing it. I'm like, man, I can't let these old guys keep doing it, and I didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's us at the Taco. That was us at the 2020. The one I hosted. I hosted that one. Yeah. I didn't have to be in good shape. I got damn to drink and just watch y'all guys do it and say a speech on the stage. And, that was a really great one because it was COVID year. And, I was like, man, let's just do it. It's my place. I got damn authority. We're going to just pull it off. A lot of places probably wouldn't let you do it during that year. So it was nice that we were able to continue the mission of Hoka Hey and what it does for the riders. And it keeps me going is, the love of motorcycle riding.
Indeed,
you can do it at a small level or a big level, and you can do it at any pace. Kenneth Gene Brooks is out there about to be 3-time champ with RT. It's a great way to do it if you just want to go out there and hit all these restaurants. And if you get lonely out there, you're always pulling into a new spot and all these smaller spots. I know it's a lot, as you know, as a bar hopper on 19, and I started spreading it out, and now you can do breakfasts and lunches. And I was like, man, you ain't got enough breakfast spots on here.
You got POIs, and then you have some places, man, that close and you have to time it and gauge it just right. So you get 1 point here, you get 2 points there, but you miss a meal. You're like, damn, I was eating.
You probably needed to, huh? You're like, man, I ate too much of the last one. It was good. I can't eat another bite, man. I just get up and get a Pepsi.
Yeah, it's 250 miles to the next one. I'll be done digested it, and then I'll be good to go. But I think I probably gained
we're going to be skipping some or planning it better. A little appetizer. I was always thinking, man, if I could just go in and meet somebody at the bar or something, I can just buy them a meal and take a picture of it,
right?
And just look at it. Maybe they can cut me off a little piece.
Yeah. Hey, folks, we're going to just do a quick little Q&A. If you have any questions for COEB, shoot them in the comment sections on YouTube, because we really can't. I think Facebook may be coming in. But, yeah, shoot us some comments right quick before we let him go. We've enjoyed having him on tonight, sharing his stories, his adventures, and journey. Wouldn't you agree, Doc?
Absolutely. I got a whole bunch of questions, but I guess we don't have all night, because I can actually listen to you go on and on and on about your stories and your adventures.
I know.
You are very
well. That's what made me the crazy one-eyed biker, right? I earned the title,
right? Amy says, "Looking good, COEB. Keep the legend alive. Eric is awesome, representing PCB." There you go, right there. You see what's behind him, right?
The legend,
Legend, man. You are a living legend, man. An icon of the long distance riding community. My hat is off to you, man. My hat is off to you. Great stories. Mike Stevens said great stories. Becky Tart says, tell me more about the big tip in Galveston, specifically the dates.
Well, it's always on December 17th. And so we're going to go out, and you can go to any places. We usually hit a few of them along the way. And, Reef had put one together because he's the RTE guy, man. He put one together at Bood Road and Thibodeau's, which was a spot back in 2 years ago. And I guess that'd be 23. And this year, Doc's is a place. And let my boy Levins was like, what you doing for, this year? Last year we went down to Florida, but a lot of people didn't participate. We put it out there as an event. So Doc's is a big place. So I think a lot of people could show up there, and they'll be able to handle the crowd pretty good. So I'm going out to Hops Rally in November. So I'll probably roll down to Galveston, maybe have a checkpoint on there. I can swing in, talk to the manager in there. And, obviously the motel room will take you wherever you go, Holiday Inn. There's a Hampton Inn down there too, but sometimes if we get tipsy, we don't want to ride our bikes. We just want to walk around a couple places. So we'll be down at the Holiday Inn in Galveston Beach. It's a great place. They do a motorcycle rally down there, so they're well acquainted with motorcycle rides, and it's a real motorcycle friendly town for riders.
Doc, can you see that question?
Probably at noon time.
David Bell?
Yeah,
noon or 1, we'll put that back up.
Yeah, David Bell, he asked this question earlier, Eric. He wants to know, can you submit a restaurant to be added to the RTEX?
Right. It's called rtexusa@gmail.com is the best way to do that. Just send it out to us. That's what we put on the website. Send your recommendations to that. That way we can categorize it. So as it comes in, Donut will put it into a Google file that says suggested locations, and then I get through there and review all those. I don't really have enough people that do that through the year, so I end up a lot by myself. The last 7 years, it's been a lot of work, and there's a few of them I put on there every year, like Hillbilly Hot Dogs, a legendary place up in Lisa's, West Virginia, and we do some Hoka Hey reunions. That was the first one that I pulled off for them. And then I did another one over there at Barbarossa over there in East Tennessee. And then they kind of took it over from there. It blew up. They were like, hey, and I was backing off, so I was, you're always happy when somebody grabs the torch and runs with it, man, if you've been running with it for a little while. That way you can get back to doing what you love, riding.
Yeah,
that's right. That's what
and running your business, like you said, sometimes I've been absentee business manager, but sometimes I'm there. I'm always coming back in a couple of days to check in on everybody.
Hey, Eric, do you have any sponsors for your RTE, like, your stickers and your buckles that you give out, your trophies that you give out? Do you have a team, like sponsors, or how do you keep it going?
Right. I was in the restaurant business for 20 years, and then I crossed over into the t-shirt business for another 20 years. So I've been 20 and 20, had a successful career, and I'm not too thrifty with my money. I throw it away, and it feels like you throw it to charities, and I do some charities through the year as well. But man, this is just such great to unite my friends, over a few $1,000s, buying stickers and giving them out, and putting my time into writing these maps, and and then the prize money, I just go buy some certificates. I got these the credit cards. I spend plenty of money, so I just get some gift cards off my credit card points. It doesn't even feel like I'm using my own money.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. Great guy, man. Great guy.
Maybe I can figure out how I have a business
rally. Reef said he'll see you at Hops Rally, man. Yep.
Yeah, Reef. I saw him at your RT, and he did, and he said he'd be there. Yes, sir. Right. He said, yes, sir, I'll be there.
Yeah.
It's always good. I got 5th place there last year. Maybe I can do better, man. You got the previous champ, Nicole Muse, she got 3rd last year, and you got, previous RT champ, Ben Ernst. He's got like 5 in a row or something. He's the defending champ. You can't knock off his pedestal, and Anderson just got married, so maybe he's not going to be there this year. So you always like it when somebody gets taken out for some reason, and you're not going to be there. It might get you one more spot. I like a top three this year, baby.
It's a little competitive.
Come out there and be competitive.
It's a little competitive. That's it, man. Joe Bell said, I'll see you at Hops Rally next week.
All right. Fellow competitor out there. It's always just fun, good time. Hop 1 year had the biggest flag ever. It came and we're all out there feel like we got a sailboat trying to get a picture with this thing on. We're like drifting it over us like we're at National Lampoon toga party or something.
Hey, quick question for you. You are a NASCAR guy. Who's your NASCAR driver, man? Who's your team?
Ross Chastain. I was rooting on him at Talladega when he won it, and then later on, we're rooting on him at Martinsville when he did that famous they call it the arcade move and ran the wall. I don't know if y'all heard about it or saw it, but he's my guy. Trackhouse racing. You got some SVG now on the Trackhouse, and he's a big road racer and wins all those. I got my big as a NASCAR fan, I always wanted a Grand National, so I posed my Grand National behind me. It was my dream car, and it's behind me back here with my 4 bikes I collected off the Hoka Heys, and if I only collected the finishers, but I got 4 bikes back here that finished. Oh wait, I got one over here, the new Road King, man. I mean, remember I told you I blew it. I kind of what is it? Fuel pump. I blew a fuel pump and ended up the only thing they had with the tour pack was going to be a street glide. So I was like, give it to me. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm on a street glide now. It's not too bad. It's not terrible. It's new and they've done some things. I guess they only put a tour pack on that because they want us long distance riders to get on it or something. So here I'm gonna be the guinea pig for all y'all. Let y'all know.
gonna be the yeah. Hey, quick question for you. What advice would you give a new rider looking to get into the long distance riding community?
Yeah, I mean, probably straight to the Iron Butt Association page. They got so many cool rides now, along with the RTE or the, is a ride on the Iron Butt Association page. But they got like the summer solstice and, they got, Easter rides. And I mean, every day of every holiday is a ride, so you can go out there and do 1,000 miles in 24 hours and, break it in. I know my first 1,000 miles in 24 hours was just brutal. And then now they just seem like you can do them left and right, and hardly any of them are brutal for me. But, the first ones were like just terrible. And then I was so pumped up and an eager, kid. You got a lot more energy in your 40s. So then I'm pulling off 1,524s and then go try to do 1,624, a 1,724 and see what tests your limit and get out there and, do it and, start with just a ride to eat even, go 500 miles and ride to eat. And, sometimes that makes it real easy if you're not ready to submit a ride or, if it's not worth the $40 to submit your ride, sometimes you just do a ride to eat and do it on your own page and brand yourself. And it's hard to brand yourself if you don't put some rides in though. Some people got character.
Explain branding yourself. Some people may not understand that lingo of branding themselves as a long distance rider in the riding community.
Well, I got your stickers and it's got the whole United States and what was the 48 something or something. You were like, this was my big ride and this is the one that you wanted to brand yourself with initially. And you brand yourself with your obviously your Reef and Solo RTEs that I didn't even know about it when I did my RT. It was just we cross paths and you got RT, I'm doing RT. You're doing it for me, but the community usually welcomes you. It's not a copycat thing. If you can do it, I mean, it's the longevity of it. You can keep it going for a while. Then that's a great thing. You know what I'm saying? Keeping it going for a while because most of everything will go 2 or 3 years and drop off, and then it doesn't happen again. So longevity, but branding yourself, I mean, come, by the third or fourth one, and people were calling me COEB, and coming up with a sticker for yourself. I remember back in the early day, I don't even know before I even had a sticker, I remember Kenneth Andrews having his sticker, where he'd done the 48 and 10, but he did it twice, because he didn't get it all done the first time, realized he messed up, so he did it a second time. And so he's been running with that one forever. But I remember we go around and we'd be like the only stickers in town that we were seeing, you know what I'm saying, back in 15, 16 era. And then all of a sudden, the sticker craze happened. So, it was cool to see, because I mean, I like seeing everybody out there and they're putting their stuff up on the roadside signs and stuff. I know Mookie's Dugway is always a good one, I mean, the whole sign, you can't even get Mookie Dugway in that picture. It's just all stickers, you know what I'm saying? Front, back. So anytime you get to a cool spot, you're like a rookie if you didn't have a sticker to put up, So when you're out there riding, you got to have a stack of them, That's how you brand yourself when people, and you hand them out, man. You say, hey, man, if you hand them to, man, like, hey, if you're somewhere cool, put my sticker up there, like in the girls' bathroom or something. Yeah. Make yourself cool. Yeah. That's brand
Good
yourself,
deal.
man. Be funny, man. Go with it,
Good deal.
The AI's been great, for, I got an art department, so I was able to get my people to do it. But, being in the business already, branding yourself from T-shirts and koozies and all that stuff, to getting your own sticker and being your own brand. If you want to do it, if you want to be a ham and if you want to ride, and if you got some good rides to showcase, put yourself out there, I would say. Like when you get to the places, I'm going to your place. I'm Eric Buskell, COEB, man. They're like, who are you, man? I'm like, I'm RT. And they're like, what's that? I'm like, what? I'm like, I thought I was like you got there still thinking you're the legend. You've been handing them out, but ain't nobody know who you are, man. You got to keep pushing it every day, riding every year. That keep you motivated too, man. If you want your brand to stand, man, you got to get out there and put a ride in every year. I mean, I just finished the Iron Butt Rally ride this year. So that was my, fifth attempt, I didn't quite get to the end, but I did get 11,000 miles, 11 days, they get harder, man. If you don't get one, man, you know how hard they are to get, man, sometimes. Yeah. So you put it all out there on the line, and man, it was super hot out there. And then I was talking to the solo, man. I was like, man, it seemed like from like 15 to 19, man, the roadways weren't near as packed. I always thought they were packed, but they're way more packed now since COVID, like 21, 22. I mean, every year I'm out there, I'm like, man,
they was trying to get out,
like, population has gone through the roof. These roadways are like crazy out there. I should have got out there in 2020 there, and they said there wasn't nobody on the road. I was like hanging out the house too much, hosting the Hoka Hey.
Yeah, good deal. All right, man. Doc, we can get ready to shut this thing down, man. We're gonna keep right on going.
Doc, it was nice to meet you. Good, I met you at the recent Solos event over there in Arkansas this year. You were hanging out at the bar. I'm a big loud mouth at the bar too, when I'm hanging out talking to everybody.
Yep. I heard a lot of your conversations. That's how I knew kind of who you were. So yeah, it was nice to see you. Nice to meet you. Glad you came on the show tonight.
Thank you.
Good deal. Well, all right, COEB, we're gonna let you go, man. Greatly appreciate you coming on the show tonight, sharing your adventures, your journeys, man, being an inspiration. Yes.
Hold on.
All right. Hey, folks.
Hold on. We got to sign out in style. I got to sign out in style with my hat. Appreciate being on the show there, Solo.
Hey, man, we enjoyed you. We absolutely enjoy having you on tonight. And by all means, we would love to get you back on the show again, man.
Awesome. I'd love to do it, man. We got more stories in there.
And he does, folks. And he does. Well, all right, E, you take it easy down there, my brother. And hopefully I'll be seeing you at the Big Tip Ride in Galveston, Texas, man.
Circling back around, back to Texas, swinging them out.
All right, my brother. You take care. Oh man,
that was nice.
Hey man, I told you he's full of stories, man. Man, this guy is full of stories, man. He's done it, been it all. Accidents, hitting a bull elk, 1,100, 1,200 pound bull elk, lost an eye, still got a ride, wrecked a bike, buy a new bike, continue to ride. Ultimate long distance rider, Iron Butt Rally, Hoka Hey, RTE. Great guy. Great guy.
I'm wild. My thing is just wild.
Yeah.
Just wow.
I know, man. Hey, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Becky Tart, Joe and Bev, Carol, Baldhead, Nasty Dahuru, MC, Big SAR. Shout out to Big SAR's Iron Elite Podcast. Make sure you go in and check them out. Retro, the Retro Philosophy Show. Make sure you go over and check them out. Everybody who came on, give us some shout outs, Doc. Who you want to shout out tonight?
I want to shout out everybody
shout
that
yourself
tuned in.
out. Shout yourself out.
Yeah, shout myself out. Shout out everybody that tuned in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The Bells, David Bell, thank you for coming on. Everybody, man, I can't thank everybody enough for supporting this podcast channel, man. Doc and I are trying to bring you some top-notch interviews. We're going to change it up a little bit, man. We got some big things planned for the future. The sky's the limit, and we're going to keep pushing. We're going to stay positive, and we're going to stay bringing the culture to the best of our abilities, some inspiration. Wouldn't you agree, Doc?
Yeah, that's the goal.
That's all we can do. We're going to stay positive with it. That's right. So listen, folks, I just want to thank you. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And also on Facebook, make sure you go over and subscribe to Doc's page. She's taking subscribers to her page. When you see a poster under the comment, just go and like it. You know, it's $1.99 to subscribe. You're getting some behind the scenes interviews. You're getting some behind the scenes content exclusive for subscribers. We greatly appreciate that, man. We greatly appreciate that. And we're also coming out with some more merch. We're coming out with our fall merch, Doc. We're coming out with our fall merch.
I like merch.
Merch alert. Hey, man, I want to thank Nurse Tiffany for that, man. She hit us on the merch alert. So a big old, wait a minute. We ain't allowing nobody back in. Ain't nobody coming in here, man. We ain't nobody back doing this. Almost 2 hours. But listen, folks, we get ready to get up out of here. Thank you for joining us tonight. We're Riding with K Soul podcast. That's what I'm talking about right there. D Bell. Thank you very much, D Bell. We greatly appreciate you, man. We greatly appreciate you. Monica said, great show. Well, all right, Doc, we get ready to get up out of here, folks. We thoroughly enjoyed you. And remember, aspire to inspire. And if you do that, you will definitely be legendary. All right, folks, we're out of here.